Okay, let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive on a very specific piece of hardware today. It's the DBX641V, which is a 6x4 digital zone processor. And what we really want to do here is understand how a box like this can basically automate some of the biggest headaches in commercial audio. We're talking signal routing and some pretty powerful DSP.
And that's what's so interesting about this whole Zone PRO series, right? They're really engineered to be let's say, the reliable brain of a system. The goal isn't just great audio quality. It's more about, total flexibility and keeping maintenance low. If you're running a gym, a restaurant, any large zone space, you need something that just works.
Right, something you don't have to babysit. So let's start with the architecture, because that's always the first question for an installer. What can I plug in? The 641V is a pretty compact unit. It gives you 6 inputs in total, and those feed 4 independent outputs, or zones.
And you can see their whole philosophy just by looking at the connectors they chose. You've got the Euroblock connectors, which is, standard for pro installs, balance, low noise. But then they also include RCA connectors, and that's so you can easily hook up consumer gear.
Like a streaming device or a CD player, things you find everywhere.
Exactly. The stuff that's actually used for background music in pretty much every commercial space.
So the inputs reflect that mix. You get 4 of those dedicated RCA inputs, and then 2 more that you can switch between either line or mic level. They even put in an analog input bus so you can, scale the system up with more units if you need to.
And if we look at the bigger picture of performance, the technical foundation is solid. It's running at a 48 kilohertz sample rate using the DBX Type IV conversion system. And the sources mention really low self-noise. We're talking a THD plus noise of 0.003% typical.
Which is critical, right?
It's so important. It means you're starting with an incredibly clean signal before you even start to process it.
Okay, so that's the foundation. The signal is clean. Now for the really cool part, the DSP engine. Once that audio is inside the box, what can you do with it? And the feature list is pretty long. You've got advanced feedback suppression, or AFS, auto gain control, compression, limiting.
Yeah, and we should be clear, this isn't just a list of, random effects. These are automated problem solvers. Take the AFS, the feedback suppression. That's the tool that automatically stops a microphone from creating that horrible squealing sound. And when you pair that with AGC, the auto gain control, the system keeps the music volume consistent, even if the source material varies a lot.
And it seems like they have some very specific solutions for paging, too. You can select processing just for the mic signal. Things like gating, de-essing, and even more feedback control to make sure announcements are always clear.
Right. And then on the output side, they have something that's a real differentiator. It's a patent-pending feature called auto warmth. They actually co-developed it with JBL.
Auto warmth. So what does that do?
It basically provides a very natural-sounding low-frequency extension, but it does it at any signal level. So that quiet background music in the corner of a cafe still has some weight to it. It doesn't sound thin or tinny.
And the routing module is kind of the heart of all this, I suppose. It handles the source selection for each zone, but it also manages those priority functions, like source ducking.
Yeah, which is absolutely essential. You need the music to automatically lower in certain zones the moment a paging announcement comes through.
So that flexibility, it doesn't just stop with the audio. It extends to how you control the thing.
Oh, for sure. For the end user, say a store manager, you have these really simple wall panel controllers.
Just source select and volume, I assume.
That's it, just the basics they need.
But the automation goes deeper, doesn't it? Can it handle, like, different times of the day?
Absolutely. It has a built-in real-time clock. And that turns the processor into, well, a proactive sound engineer, really. It can be programmed to automatically change volume levels or even switch sources at specific times of the day or week.
So for a restaurant, it could lower the volume for dinner service automatically.
Exactly. Or switch from a daytime playlist to an evening one. And setting all that up is pretty straightforward with their Zone PRO Designer software. It has a setup wizard to speed things along.
So if you bring it all together for an installer or, for the business owner, what does it all mean? It feels like the DBX641V is really about taking a commercial audio system to the next level by getting rid of all those tedious manual tasks. It's all the processing, versatility, and control you need in one small box.
Yeah. And, it leaves you with an interesting question to think about. When you consider the level of automation that's built into a processor like this, things like auto warmth, AFS, the clock, how does that fundamentally shift the role of a system manager? You have to wonder, are these processors fully automating the job of a sound engineer? Or are they just freeing up the expert to focus less on the small manual tweaks and more on, the high-level system design and programming? Something to think about for your next project.